Here's what's shaking our lead story is lead story in the Churchill Downs Distaff. 'Tis the season for Tiz Bud in the Cal Cup Classic. Hollywood Park opens a brand new meet this week, and Chris Lincoln looks into national licensing. It's the big show, Long John Silver's Wire to Wire.
Long John Silver's Wire to Wire, presented by Citgo.
A little bit like touching up the Mona Lisa. They continue to work on Churchill Downs. We'll have a new look for the Kentucky Derby 2004. Construction underway. Our race of the week is the Churchill Downs Distaff, and Carl Nasker trying to steal this one for the second year in a row.
He won it last year with a 22-to-1 shot named Softly. This year he ran 2 horses, 5-to-1 Mayo on the side, and 35-to-1 Lead Story. But of course they had to get by the 2 favorites in there, Yell and Awesome. You already saw Lead Story going in the winner's circle, so you know who won.
Gave
you
it
get a
away.
chance to see it again.
Kind of update Luke Kreitboss the situation. Not as bad as we described. He does have running water in there, but it is literally a press box. And of course, with the call, here is Luke.
Off band running in the Churchill Downs Distaff. Rihanna broke on top from the far outside. Born to Dance and Meteor Miracle flashing early speed. Awesome Humor, My Trusty Cat. Salzarita, Lake and Heath, and Lead Story with Yell. Up the chute they go. Born to Dance leads it 3 parts of a length in front. Awesome Humor races second. Mayo on the side right there. A close-up third to the outside. Meteor Miracle tracking from the rail in fourth, and Rihanna's in fifth. They're followed by Lake and Heath up between fillies. Behind that comes My Trusty Cat. Yell, the favorites on the outside. 8 to make up early for that one. Then Salzarita in 7. Back to Lead Story, who trails. She's 14 lengths off the pace of the opening quarter. 23 seconds flat. Born to Dance, the long shot opens up 2.5 now. Awesome Humor races in second. Meteor Miracle down on the inside third. Mayo on the side. 3 deep, fourth by 2 to Rihanna racing in fifth. My Trusty Cat with Salzarita down along the inside. Yell is still 8 or 9 off the pace at this point. Then Lake and Heath and 2.5 back to Lead Story. Half mile down the straightaway in 45 and 4/5 seconds. And around that far turn, Born to Dance is still there. 3/4 in front. Meteor Miracle, Awesome Humor, Luma, Danger on the outside. They tackle her right now. He back to Mayo on the side. My Trusty Cat moves up into the 4th spot now. And now Pat Day getting busy on Yell. She's hung out 7 or 8 wide, and she starts to rally up in the stretch drive. Awesome Humor taking the lead, 3/16 out now. Born to Dance trying to kick back along the inside. Lead Story's made a huge move from way back down to the final furlong they go. Awesome Humor, Larry Melanson all over. Tackled by Lead Story on the outside. Born to Dance running a big one and re-rallying. In deep stretch, Lead Story hits the front. Awesome Humor kicks back. Lead Story winning the Churchill Downs Distaff from last to first.
Trainer Carl Nasker pulls the upset for the 2nd straight year. Jockey Calvin Burrell in a spill on Thursday. Rebounds to ride here on Saturday and get the win. Lead Story had lost 4 in a row before this race. She's owned by retired Louisville banker Stevens Miles Jr. Awesome Humor second. Yell could do no better than 6th.
Look at that $2 win ticket. 73.60. Burrell jokingly called Calvin Burrell around the racetracks where he rides because of his tendency to save ground, to stick on the fence as long as possible, and he got through literally every step of the way with Lead Story until mid-stretch when he had to swing out. Now, what happened to Yell? She has been such a hard-luck filly throughout her career, getting stopped all the time. You see, she was pretty wide at the top of the stretch, but at that point, she was already beaten. She has a tendency, unfortunately, not to come up with her best efforts in the very biggest races, and you can see as she's struggling the last 1/8 of a mile, the Churchill Downs Distaff was not one of her better days. And here's Lead Story catching Awesome Humor. Awesome Humor, a talented filly, just not quite as good at the longer distances, and maybe not quite as good as an older filly as she was as a 2-year-old. She can still run.
She can go. Coming up next, Cal Cup Day, and what a day it was. In speed, A.B. What a runner. Is she good or what? A little bit later, the 2nd round of Final Furlongs. We will be right back.
Presentation of Long John Silver's Wire to Wire is brought to you by Long John Silver's. Seafood the way it ought to be. Citgo, we know you. The American Quarter Horse Association. Let freedom ride.
Ready for our first round of Final Furlongs. It's Cal Cup Day. There was a guaranteed $1 million pick 6, wound up being $1.1 million. 2 winners there, about $309,000 each.
And on the first half of Final Furlongs, we'll look at all the Cal Cup races in chronological order, beginning with the Cal Cup Distance Handicap for fillies and mares at 1.25 miles on the grass, and we pick it up with Moscow Burning, powering away from Artem Relaunch and Valentine Dancer to win by daylight under Ryan Fogelsonger. She was claimed in August for $25,000 by trainer Jim Cassidy. This was her first start in a stakes race after back-to-back allowance wins and her first beyond 1 mile and a 16th. We don't have the buyers posted graphically, my fault. fault, but Muscle Burning got a 93. A half hour later, Fillies and Mares ran on the dirt in the Cal Cup matron and 9-5 favorite Royally Chosen pulls away under Alex Solis, the same 5-year-old mare who faded badly in the Ladies' Secret, back in with Calbreds. She dominated. This was her first victory since October 2001. She lost 18 months in there with an injury. Trainer Bruce Headley brought her back carefully. Royally Chosen's buyer, a solid 97. Next, the Cal Cup distaff down the hill. Julie Crone got on the board with Blind Ambition. She inherited that mount from Gary Stevens, who's taking some time off. This was Blind Ambition's first stakes victory, but she looked good on paper. She now has 8 starts, 4 wins in 4 seconds. Her winning buyer also a 97. To 6 furlongs on the main track, the Cal Cup Sprint, a torrid pace. The first half mile, 43-3. The speed horses faltered, and we had another first-time stakes winner.
But it's going to be Green Team to win it. Green Team and Victor Espinosa take the sprint to Summer Purvis.
Green Team paid $13.20. Summer Service edged Trapper for second. 8-year-old favorite Full Moon Madness faded to 5th. Green Team became a stakes winner in his 28th start, and he did it in stakes record time. Good for a buyer of 110. Claimed in July for $32,000 by Jeff Bondi, who calls Green Team his Cinderella horse. The Cal Cup Juvenile Fillies, fun to watch. On the inside, Silent Size. On the outside, House of Fortune. And House of Fortune and Alex Solis slowly wore down Silent Size to get the W by a half length, owned by Arnold Zetcher, trained by Ron McAnally. A filly from the first crop of stallion, Free House. Winning buyer, a 91. A couple of talented fillies. Back to the grass, the Cal Cup Mile. Continental Red, last year's California bred horse of the year, was the 5-2 favorite.
They come past the 8th pole. Lenny from Malibu's all hard. Look at him stick his neck out, pin those ears, and Lenny from Malibu's not going to let anyone by him today. Lenny from Malibu, a very impressive winner of the mile.
Ryan Fogelsonger guided Lenny from Malibu to a wire-to-wire shocker. If Lenny bet on this horse, he's happy. 52-20 to win. Continental Red edged Menacing Dennis for second. C2C was 5th. Native Desert, 2-time Cal Cup Mile winner, ran 8th. The winning buyer, 100. It was Lenny from Malibu's first stakes win. 2 more Cal Cup races to go, but this was the big one now. The $250,000 Cal Cup Classic at 1 mile and an 1/8. Skyjack was scratched, leaving Hot Market as the 7-5 favorite. Gray Memo was 4-1, but both of those lost. We pick up the call with Trevor.
Tisbud, Commander's Flag, and Keddington chase him home. Gray Memo getting involved late, maybe a little too late. And it's Tisbud in full flight for the wire. And Tisbud and Victor Espinosa have won the Cal Cup Classic. Keddington second.
First stakes win for Tisbud, and Espinosa gets another one. Tisbud, Familiar Silks, a full brother to 2-time Breeders' Cup Classic winner Tiz now, full brother to Bud Royale, Tiz Dubai. What a family that's turned out to be. Tisbud also races for C Stable, trained by John Sadler. Sidelined for a long time due to a fractured leg, surgery and everything. He was 10-1 on Saturday, winning buyer 101. And in the nightcap, the Cal Cup Juvenile, Espinosa was going for his 4th winner on the card. He rode the second betting favorite, He's the Rage.
John tries to dig deep, but He's the Rage takes the advantage. And He's the Rage had his mind on winning, and he'll give Victor Espinosa 4 today. He's the Rage takes the Cal Cup Juvenile easy.
He's the Rage was a maiden with an asterisk in his debut. He had all sorts of trouble. Broke slowly, came flying, lost in a photo. That was at 6 furlongs. This one 1 mile and a 16th, thus the betting support. So Espinosa won 4. Jim Cassidy saddled 2 winners, Moscow Burning and He's the Rage. The buyer, though, not impressive, only a 71. We told you about the Cal Cup pick 6. What about the Breeders' Cup pick 6? They're back. Graham Stone on the right. Will Dixon also in there. They're collecting a check for $2.687 million for their $8 winning Breeders' Cup Pick 6 ticket. You can see Uncle Sam took a nice little chunk of that, but I think they'll gladly sell it for their $2.68 million. Wouldn't you think so?
I would think so. In speed, we start at the Mecca for American quarter horse racing in the West, Los Alamitos Race Course. It's the Los Al Derby with the powerhouse filly, A.B. What a Runner. Only 1 loss in her career. That was in the trials for this final. She was the overwhelming favorite and ready to take on any challenger. And now it's time to bring in Ed Burgart with the play-by-play.
And away they go on the Los Alamitos Derby, and the 2 horses on the outside both broke beautifully. A.B. Water Runner came out with her mind on winning, and she's going on strongly. First to Flash begins to close in. Mongoose Jedi also has a chance, and I ought to be first, but tonight's going to be A.B. Water Runner's night to show how good she really is, as A.B. Water Runner and G.R. Carter annihilate the field in the Los Alamitos Derby.
Where do we start? New track record, breaking a 7-year-old record held by another great mare, Dashing Folly. She's now won 8 of 9 lifetime. $1.2 million. G.R. Carter was the pilot. Look out, boys. She's headed to the Champion of Champions, and we have ourselves a World Championship contender right here. Shifting to Lone Star Park, 4-6's Ranch Handicap. You have the 8-horse, Dashing Prince Henry on the outside as the favorite, and Flying Avalanche on the inside, ready to spoil the day.
Racing. Dashing Prince Henry had a catastrophic start. He is 5 lengths last. Friday 1, 2, 3. Iowa Gold away quickly. Valor's Gold. Midnight Train to Georgia's right up on the pace, and Flying Avalanche on the inside. It's Valor's Gold, Iowa Gold. Friday 1, 2, 3. Flying Avalanche. Photo.
All across the track. This was a $20,000 race. Flying Avalanche would just get to the wire to win by a nose. This was also a record-setting performance. Dashing Prince Henry stumbled at the start with jockey Jackie Martin, and they would never get back into the fight. It was a nasty night in Dallas. Rain, temperatures in the 50s. Now to Sunray Park, Farmington, New Mexico. The New Mexico quarter-horse handicap, a purse of $68,000. Negro Diaz was part of an entry that would be sent off as the favorite.
Off and racing, Negro Diaz away okay, also beginning well to Talker, and Indy Bud Bob was away quickly. It's Indy Bud Bob and Negro Diaz, and down towards the inside it's Ace's Lucky Duck. The leader is Indy Bud Bob on the outside, Negro Diaz, and right down the outside, DR8 straight and easy. It's Negro Diaz in front and wins.
Call it Negro Diaz by a neck. The New Mexico Horse Breeders Association kicked in $40,000 for the purse. Carl Draper is the winning conditioner. This is a gelding by Super Duper Cooper out of a streaking 6 mare. It was a smooth 100 speed index. Well, stick around, Farmington, New Mexico. The New Mexico Breeders Futurity. G.R. Carter was on board the favorite. Arbor missed. Cut the Glare didn't quite get the respect that he deserved, but he would get the final say. Here's what happened.
Set to run, off and racing, Jerry Tom Special away okay, Arbor Mist began quickly, and down towards the inside it's Serena's Quick Dash, and now starting to stoke up down the outside is Arbor Mist. Arbor Mist is coming out after Jerry Tom Special, and down towards the inside there, Cut the Glare in front and wins.
Cut the Glare pulled away to win by 3/4 of a length. Once again, the New Mexico Horse Breeders Association kicked in $40,000. Total purse here, $135,000. Not too bad. $63,000 going to the winner. The distance was that quick 350 yards. For more information on how you can become a Racing American Quarter Horse owner, call 1-800-414-RIDE. When we come back, it's all about what's happening this coming weekend. We'll shake you down. Also take a look at Puzzlement, who's gearing up for some big races down in Florida. Go leaderboard. The Oak Tree meeting at Santa Anita has come to a conclusion, but not before trainer Doug O'Neill set the record for most victories by a trainer. Long Gone Con gave him number 22. He needed 65 starters to get that job done, breaking the mold mark set by Bob Baffert of 21. Did it twice in 1998 and in 1999.
And now he can afford a new picture. We need to get him a new picture.
We're going to update that just a little bit. Well, for years, they've been talking about national licensing for owners, trainers, and jockey. And as Chris Lincoln reports, that's an idea whose time may have finally come.
It's called Racing's Easy Pass, the National Racing Licensing Program. Headquartered in an office on the backside of Virginia's Colonial Downs, under the direction of Robin Williams.
I think the participants in racing have been asking for a national universal license that would be good everywhere for 30 or 40 years. And about 4 years ago, we came up with the idea of an interstate compact that would create an independent interstate governmental agency authorized by the state legislatures that would provide for such a license. We have 10 states that have created the compact. We have another 11 states plus Ontario which recognize the national license. This license is good in 22 jurisdictions. All you have to do is call our office, and Gwen will get you lined up in any major racing state in North America.
Gwen is Gwen Zimmerman, the administrator of the program, and she explained the procedure to acquire this 3-year, $150 national license.
We have them fill out an application, and then we have a digital scanner which we fingerprint them on and take their picture in our digital camera, and then they never have to be fingerprinted again.
In the 3 years of the program, about 750 owners, trainers, jockeys, and harness drivers have been licensed. Gwen said the national license is now really gaining momentum.
Oh, fantastic. Everybody is really excited. You know, I have people calling me now saying, Team Valor, send me 50 packets. It's really catching on now. So it's really going well.
We provide one-stop shopping service. All you have to do is call our office, and we get you licensed in every major racing state. With one phone call, one credit card, one application, you're good to go.
What do you say to that? About time?
Yeah, it would be like if you drove a car to another state, having to stop at the border, stand in line to get a new driver's license and pay a new fee. It's really antiquated, the current system in thoroughbred racing, and it's good to see it's going to change.
Be a good change. NTRA Great Stakes segment starting to race now at Hollywood Park, and a big Grade 1 going on at Laurel. The DeFrancis Dash and Shake You Down in there, who had a 5-race win streak this summer.
And he finished third in his last start in the Breeders' Cup Sprint when he didn't break slowly, but he didn't really come out of the gate running all that well. And so it was a good effort to finish third, and he should be the favorite in here. Private Horde, 6th in the Breeders' Cup Sprint, also expected to tackle him in the race.
That's on Saturday. Also on Saturday at Hollywood Park, it's the Hollywood Preview.
This is a 7-furlong race at Grade 3. That horse there, Voladero, trained by Wayne Lucas, will be in there against Lionheart, a very impressive maiden winner in his last start, and Baffert expected to run either Consecrate or Cooperation.
I think we pretty much have the bases covered across the country. Out in the east, you have Laurel Park and Aqueduct racing going on there. Churchill Downs, of course, the reconstruction going on, but racing goes on as well at Hollywood Park. There's the Preview Stakes on Saturday. On Sunday, Churchill Downs, it's the Grade 3 River City Handicap. And at Remington Park in Oklahoma, it is the Oklahoma Derby. Now, also down in Florida, it's the Florida Million, which is similar to the Cal Cup Day, which we just saw in California, starting with the Classic and Best of the Rest.
The Gray Horse Best of the Rest, the 8-year-old, won this race last year. He has 15 wins in his career. 12 of those have been at Calder, and trainer Eddie Police has done a great job keeping him in peak form. Also, you expect to see puzzlement run in there for Alan Jerkins. By contrast, it's his first start at Calder. He's been just a cut below a real good horse. 4th in the Whitney, 3rd in the Woodward, 4th the Suburban, 5th the Pimlico Special, 3rd in the Don, all this year. But against Florida breds, he'll be right there.
He has had his moments. In the Distaff, Smokin' Frolic, and she's knocked heads with really some of the toughest gals in the division.
It'll also be her first start at Calder in the Elmer Hubeck Distaff. She's made over $1 million.
In the Turf, Orchard Park making his first start since back in April.
Bill Mott trying to get him to bounce back. He's got 3 straight losses, but in the Bonnie Heath Turf, the Florida bred Orchard Park, shown here winning the Jefferson Cup, will be one of the favorites.
Tour of the Cat will come into the Sprint riding a 2-race win streak.
This was his last start, the Spinnabuck Handicap at 1 mile and a 16th, but he won this race, the Jack Dudley Sprint, last year over my cousin Matt. 10 wins in his career, 9 at Calder.
Now to the baby, Sir Oscar, undefeated, 5 for 5.
And he's shown here winning the Florida Stallion Stakes. He'll be a big favorite in the Jack Price Juvenile, and in the filly division, Chatter. Look at this. Her last 2 starts, she's won by 23 1/4 and 19 1/2 lengths. You think she won't be the favorite in the Joe O'Farrell Juvenile Fillies? I think she will.
Probably so. Well, here's what you have. A total of 850,000, 5 races in there. Great day down at Calder. It is the Florida Million on Saturday. Still ahead, we have one more final round of final furlongs that will include the Athenia and the Tempted, still on our to-do list.
This ESPN2 presentation of Long John Silver's Wire to Wire is brought to you by Long John Silver's Seafood, the way it ought to be. Citgo, we know you. NTRA.com. To learn more about the sport of horse racing, log on to NTRA.com. Equibase.com, your official online source for racing information, from entries to results and everything in between. Equibase.com is a service of Equibase Company, the thoroughbred industry's official database.
We'd love to see you again next week on Long John Silver's Wire to Wire. A little bit of a schedule change there. First chance to catch us Wednesday, 12:30 Eastern Time. For more information, go to ESPN.com. Click on horse racing. Coming up on Saturday, December 6th, it's the Thoroughbred Charities of America Auction and Dinner. It's an important charity. In each of the last 3 years, they have distributed more than $1 million in areas like equine research, retirement and research, and college scholarships. To be a part, they have all the bases covered there, the phone number and the website. Now to Final Furlongs Part 2. In Part 1, we had everything covered in the west, and now we ship to the east.
And to Aqueduct, the Big A, where both of our Final Furlongs races in the abbreviated second part took place. One Tuesday, one Saturday. We start off with Saturday's the Athenia handicap. These are fillies and mares at 1 1/16 miles on the turf. The turf course condition was soft. When they hit the wire, the top 4 were separated by only 1/2 length. What a finish. Just the kind of race Tom Durkin loves to call.
Rail is opening up for Lojo, comes charging up to the neck of Something Ventured. On the outside, Coney Kitty, a firm dancer, fights on and caught in the rain, is kicking in late. Lojo slips through on the inside, grabs the lead in the shadow of the wire. Lojo in front, here comes Caught in the Rain on the outside.
So who won it? Jeff's seen this before. I'm not going to ask you.
How did she get there?
Far outside. 14-1. Caught in the Rain wins the head bob, ridden by Richie Migliore, owned by longtime friends and ownership partners Bill Heilig-Bro and Buddy New, trained by Guadalupe Preciado. 31.60 to win. Her first 2 stakes wins, 31-1 and 32-1. Sharks to win it. Big prices. Now, Tuesday, the Tempted Stakes at Aqueduct. 2-year-old fillies over that 1-turn mile. And another look at La Reina, the filly with the white blaze on the rail there, who could be a really nice filly to watch for the future. She got tested in the Tempted.
They're into the final furlong, and La Reina is determined. La Reina fighting on down toward the inside. Eye Dazzler, those two, and La Reina. La Reina putting in a sparkling performance here. La Reina draws off in the end after a bold challenge at the top of the lane.
La Reina races for Emery Hamilton, the sister of Helen Alexander, and the distinguished family associated with the famed King Ranch, Texas, daughter of A.P. Indy, trained by Suge McGahee. Spit that out, Randy. This was only her 3rd lifetime start, but you can see that she's got a lot of potential. She'll run next November 29th from the Demoiselle at 1 1/8 miles. Then on to Gulfstream Park, winning by her speed figure 90, and that was John Velasquez aboard.
Melanie Wignall, our producer, has been digging around in that viewer mailbag and came up with a good question concerning turf racing. And you see so many great finishes in turf racing. The John Deere Breeders' Cup Turf, of course, the dead heat there, the Athenia that we just saw. And Frank was wanting to know why in turf racing are there so many better stretch drives than what you see sometimes in dirt?
The short, easy answer is that speed horses do better on dirt. Consequently, you don't have as many true speed horses on the grass. The paces are slower and the fields are more tightly bunched. But the question is, you see the finish of the Breeders' Cup Turf, the John Deere Breeders' Cup Turf. Why do speed horses do better on the dirt? One reason is the spray, the kickback, they throw back. Corey Black, though, the ex-jockey, had an interesting take on this at Santa Anita. He told me that horses finish more strongly in turf races because they have better traction. They can really get that propulsion and leg drive that enables them to come flying at the end. Another factor is that European horses are trained to run in a tight pack and then finish strongly. And a lot of the turf horses we have in the U.S., especially the better turf horses, are imports from Europe.
And we would love to hear from you. Just go to viewer mail at espnwiretowire.com. Drop us your question. Again, good question there from Frank. Good answer there from Randy Moss.
I don't know about that one.
That's it for the big show. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks very much.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.